Another place we're going to see this change dramatically. We did a whole host of recent videos about these online enticement cases that have been popping back up around the world, particularly in Okinawa, mainland Japan, Hawaii, and Korea, where they're doing these to catch a predator sting operation cases, which are ethically dubious at best. These sentencing guidelines are going to have devastating effects on individuals who were caught up in these operations. Because what we typically see charged, if you have an individual who texts with or chats with someone who they believe to be a minor or law enforcement portrays as a minor, and then they show up to meet this individual, usually what happens in these cases is law enforcement will entice them to meet up at a certain location, a certain house they have set up, and then they'll arrest them when they get to the house. Because there's no online solicitation or online pandering type of charges under the UCMJ that you might have in state court, all of these individuals are charged with attempted sexual abuse of a minor. So that's what they're charged with. It's attempted because there's no actual minor, so you could not actually complete the crime. The intervening fact is the fact that there is no minor. It's an overweight law enforcement agent sitting on the other side, so there is no minor. So it's an attempt offense. And they charge it attempted sexual assault or attempted sexual abuse of a minor, because the intent allegedly is to go and have sex with this minor. And the attempt offenses under Article 80 carry with it the same offense as if you committed the underlying offense. That means the majority of these individuals who get caught up in these online enticement operation cases are going to fall under Category 4 offenses, which have a 10-year mandatory minimum. So depending on how these are charged, if they're charged in a similar manner to what we're seeing today, these will have a 10-year mandatory minimum and a 20-year mandatory maximum. So these online enticement cases we're seeing now, individuals are routinely getting 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, depending on how significant the allegations are and how significant the crimes and the aggravating circumstances. That's what we're seeing now. So if you're caught up in an online enticement operation, one of these to catch a predator sting operation cases, depending on how it's charged, you could absolutely be facing a 10-year mandatory minimum with a 20-year maximum. So you can be facing 10 to 20 years for these offenses. And even in lesser charges, you're facing 30 to 120 months. So depending on how it's charged, you may meet someone on Tinder or on Listcrawler, think they're an adult because they posted as a 26-year-old. You saw pictures of a 26-year-old. They throw in there that they're a minor, that they're in high school or junior high school. You don't believe that, and then they go back to their persona as an adult. You show up to meet them, to hook up with them for sex. You get arrested by law enforcement. Now you're facing a 10-year mandatory minimum sentence, which is crazy. And that may be another reason they're doing these operations. I don't know that for sure, but now they know that with these sentencing guidelines, and because they're attempted sexual abuse or attempted sexual assault offenses, you're going to be facing a 2.5-year minimum on a lower charge and a 10-year minimum on the greater charge. And so you're going to have individuals who were trying to hook up with an adult on Tinder, got bait and switched, and are going to be stuck in front of a judge with 10 to 20 years on the table for each offense. That's going to dramatically change things. So again, if you've been watching our videos and you're caught up in one of these online enticement operation cases and the event happened this year, which it likely did if you're calling us, understand that this is about as serious as you get, because you might not think it matters because you were just texting someone, or maybe you sent some pictures you shouldn't, and you showed up at wherever the hell you showed up to go meet them for whatever reason. You're facing probably decades in confinement, where 6 months ago, you're probably facing a year. Fundamental shifts for anyone that's caught up in these online enticement to catch a predator type cases. If you're under investigation for or have been accused of a crime that occurred in 2024 or after, you are facing harsh punishments under the mandatory sentencing guidelines. Please reach out to us so we can explain these guidelines to you and how to actually win your case and not end up in prison. You can reach us at 813-669-3500 or book a consultation with me on our website at www.bileckilawgroup.com.